Well, hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria on the Soul Nurturer channel. Again, this is 2 days in a row. I missed you. I actually, I was on vacation for 10 days and I just kept thinking of videos I wanted to do. And I tried to do a couple when I was in Monterey, but I didn't have good Wi-Fi. So I'm here, well, mostly because I love you all. That and we have a new moon coming up on the 13th, which I usually like to do a video 3 days before a new moon or full moon because we have 3 days ahead and 3 days after to kind of get into the vibe of the lunation cycle and then sort of prepare ourselves to work with what's being presented to us from the cosmos for our highest good, for our evolving, for getting us aligned with our highest potential. So, welcome to the Soul Nurturer channel. If this is your first time, I just want to open my heart, my arms to you and wrap you into this moment. It's an offering from my heart and soul to you and all of you out there who, like me and like the majority of us, are trying to navigate transformational times, are waking up to your own potential, are waking up to the places you've been stuck or off track or not aligned with your authentic soul nature. This place is for you. So I invite you to watch this video and also peruse some other videos to see if what I have to offer is of support to you. That's my goal. And I do encourage you to subscribe and like and comment. Comments and likes help get my videos in front of people who may need them. So you supporting me is really supporting others. So we're all doing our best work. Okay. So, wow. First of all, I just want to say, how are you? How are you doing? This is really I like to think of this space like, you're scrolling and you're like, okay, you're just kind of in your unconscious materials, and I bring you to consciousness and I invite you to pause and I invite you to some compassion for yourself and others, and I invite you to take in a message that may spark some awareness in you so that you can fully you can navigate what is, but in a way with intention for transformation and healing for yourself. And as we do our own inner work and soul work, we contribute to the highest good for all. So, okay, so how are you doing? Really, truly, because we are in Scorpio season. You can go back and watch my Scorpio season video. And again, my sister and brother Scorpios, happy solar return, happy Scorpio season. It's my season. I love this season. I love this time of the year. And, when it is our solar return, or in other words, when it's your birthday, it's like when the sun is close to the exact degree it was when you were born. I feel it's a time of empowerment. So happy birthday to you, my Scorpios. And how are you doing? What are you noticing? What's trying to shake loose for you? And that's not just for Scorpios. It is for all of us right now. There's a lot of, I hate to use the word intense for talking about the astrological weather, but this new moon has the potential for being intense. Again, you're the expert of you. You and only you can control what's happening in your inner world. You and only you can navigate what is. I'm someone who just wants to offer some awareness, some support, some soul nurturing. Okay. So yeah, just check in with yourselves. Notice how you've been doing, the last few days. Today I'm recording this on 11/11. And how you were feeling yesterday, today, what's starting to kind of open up to you, coming into your awareness, or if you're not tuned in to yourself, what's happening in your external world that's trying to wake up something in your inner world, trying to call you back to something, a choice, a reset, a restart. So I'm wondering, because I'll get into the aspects in just a moment of what's going on with this new moon. The new moon in Scorpio, which means the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Scorpio at the exact degree of 21 degrees. And so wherever that is in your natal chart, whatever house is ruled by Scorpio, that's going to be activated for you. If you're a Scorpio, around 21 degrees, or I mean, I think I'm claiming it, and I mean, it's close enough to me. I'm 14 degrees Scorpio's sun, and but I'd say all Scorpios and fixed signs to a degree as well. We're going to feel this a little bit more. But where is it happening in your natal chart? And if you don't know and you haven't had your natal chart looked at by someone, there's wonderful, apps out there. You can do it on your own, or I'm still offering my 20-minute consultation, one time only, and just to kind of kickstart you in whatever direction you need, whether it's looking at your solar chart, I call it your soul chart, which is your astrological natal chart, the chart that it's like it's a snapshot of the celestial sky the moment you took your first breath. And for me, it's a soul map, and it's kind of it's a very helpful tool for transformation and healing. So I'll help you do that, or we can talk about where you are on your transformational journey of unfolding, and I've got lots of tools to support you as a soul guide. Okay, so I'll put my website in the description. You can request that 20-minute consult, or I really want to empower you to recognize, yes, it's your soul wisdom that matters, but having someone like me walk alongside of you to reclaim your wisdom, to reclaim your potential, to reclaim your ability to nurture who you are, who God created you to be, then I would empower you. I would encourage you to empower yourself to sign up or request a full session. You're worth that, okay? And on a side note, two notes before I jump into the astrology, my rates are probably going to be going up in January. I will still offer kind of a sliding scale. This is what my session is worth, but I will offer for those who can't afford, reasonable rates. I would never turn anyone away who couldn't afford it. We'll work something out. I'm even open to trade, and I am looking for someone right now who can possibly take my content from videos or Instagram or my blogs. I do have a blog. I haven't written a blog for a while, but it's called Soul Musings. If you Google Victoria Jazwick, Jazwic, Soul Musings, I have a number of blogs there. So I am looking for someone who might want to help me create content in exchange for sessions. If you're interested, email me at thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. Okay, one last thing. I know a lot of you have sent me emails. I've been on vacation. I am yet to catch up. I will get back to you. Some of you want to schedule. I will get back to you. I'm just still catching my breath. Okay, last thing, and we're going to get into the astrology. November is my favorite month. It's a month of gratitude. It's a month of joy for me. And I am offering a second giveaway. I gave my first one on my birthday, November 7th, and the winners have been notified. And so now we begin again. If you want an opportunity to work with me and win a free 1-hour session, sometimes I go over depending on what we're getting into, beginning today through Thanksgiving, I'll select a name on Thanksgiving. Watch my videos, this one, any of my videos, and comment with what you've taken away from the video. Was there something I said that really rang true for you? Was it something about the video that evoked something in you? And the more comments, for each comment, I will put your name in the giveaway drawing. And I literally, folks, I really do this. My best friend was with me, and she was watching me write every name down for the last drawing. She's like, you write every name? I said, yes, I do. And I literally put it in a hat, and I literally pull a name from the hat. So if you're looking for an opportunity to work for me, and right now you don't really have the funds, participate in the giveaway. Okay, thanks so much for that, because you help me get out there in YouTube land a little bit more. Okay, so here's what I think you may be feeling, possibilities. So notice, have you been feeling restless the last couple days? Kind of like something's brewing inside, maybe a little bit more short fused, maybe some agitation. I feel like this new moon in Scorpio could be rattling like the chains of being captive to an old way of being, and we're ready for that breakthrough, aren't we? And I got this from Landmark years ago. I love to give credit where I've received a training, something. I think more people need to do that, because I hear a lot of people even quoting people that like are clearly a quote from somebody else, and they're saying, and I like to say, and this, like, you might want to Google that quote and give credit where credit's due. But anyway, so I tried to my best of my ability, and I do believe any Landmark people out there. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light not right behind me, because yeah, there we go. Any Landmark people? Anybody do that work? I've done so many trainings through my life. Landmark. Gosh, I trained at Agape as a spiritual practitioner on my way to becoming a minister. I took the shortcut. I did the internet, become a reverend on the internet, which, you know, it doesn't feel to me, I don't call myself a reverend, because I know people who are ministers and reverends who have spent years and years in their training. So I don't lead with that. But I have done that training, but on the internet. You know, I'm a hypnotherapist. I've done all kinds of modalities. I've done hands-on healing work. Oh my goodness, countless. So where am I going off on that tangent? I'm not even sure. Come back to self. Oh yes, okay. Breakthrough. This is what I was talking about, Landmark, because I did that for like 3 years too. They had a term called breakdown to breakthrough. That's right where we are, folks. We have been since 2020. These consistent, like, breakdown, breakthrough. Like, it feels overwhelming, because the world as we know it and our own inner worlds are constantly being called to be dismantled, to be transformed. And right now, with this new moon in Scorpio, you know, this is what it is. It's like we're needing that breakthrough. It's breakthrough momentum trying to wake us up, shake us up. This is birthquake time, right? So, you know, this is so how I like to talk about. I'm trying to allow some education with the new moon and full moon videos, because I always get those questions. I get a lot of people who are learning astrology. I by no means am the best astrology teacher. I am good at offering what I know. So I'm going to try to do that when I do my videos, not just say, here's what's happening. Here's how we piece it together. Whatever new moon, so we're working with a new moon, we look at all the players in this particular lunation cycle. So the new moon, again, sun and moon are conjunct. That's a new moon, okay? That's why we can't see the moon. That's why we're in the dark phase of the moon, because the sun, they're so close that the sun isn't putting light on the moon, okay? So we have that, and then we also have sun and moon conjunct Mars. Okay, so this really, you know, adds a flavor to, I'm sorry, scoot down here, sorry. I'm trying to move my cursor down, but I don't have any room. If you saw my setup, I've got like this much space on my desk to move, to use my mouse. So Mars is in this new moon. Mars conjunct Scorpio, sun and moon. Mars and Scorpio. So this can bring the more intensity of scorpionic energy. Scorpio. Now we think about, what do we know about Scorpio energy? If you're a Scorpio, you know yourself. If you know some Scorpios, you might have a sense. That's how I got into astrology. By the way, people would go, oh, you're a Scorpio. And I would go, yeah, well, what does that mean? And they'd have this like fear of me. And I am not one to fear. So I started looking at my chart. Yes, I'm a Scorpio, but I have moon in Leo and a lot of Sagittarius energy. So my Scorpio is not as intense. It's more of a loving kind of, you know, I just want everyone to be happy and joyful. That's my Sag and my Leo. So anyway, but Scorpio in general, you know, can be an intense sign, can be intense energy. So we put this puzzle piece together of Scorpio, transformational energy, death and rebirth, going deep into the shadows, shadow work. You know, Scorpio energy can be obsessive, can be obsessed about something. And Scorpio energy is laser focus. Like, we can see beyond what is and go underneath. And we love that great mystery. We love getting to the bottom of the mystery, the bottom of what is. So this is the collective energy we all get to utilize, whether you're a Scorpio or not. It's a time to really, these breakthroughs are going to come from a willingness to say, I'm not going to settle for surface things. I'm going to go deep down to what is needed to be healed in myself, in whatever house that's in your chart. Say it's in your second house, the new moon's in the second house of money and resources and self-worth. It's time to really set new intentions for how you want to rise with your power with this Scorpio energy, by first looking at what's in the shadow, by first looking at all the places that you've avoided and denied. Okay, this is Scorpio. Scorpio wants to help you transform. That's why I do this work, right? I'm a transformational agent on the planet. It's what I do. Scorpio energy is connected to the shaman, the one who, again, can take, helps people go through a transformational journey and reclaiming soul and soul potential. So this is that's one player, Scorpio, in Sun, Moon, and Mars. Now, what's the Sun? It's our identity. It's our vitality. It's where, our soul moves our purpose through. And ruled by the Sun, it's where we bring our light. And then what's the Moon? It's intuition. It's more emotion. It's connected and not gender related, but the feminine. The Sun is masculine and the Moon is feminine. And it is, this, waxing and waning, just like the Moon. So emotional, it's intuitive, it's connected to our subconscious. So all in Scorpio. And then Mars, what is Mars? Mars is the planet of war. Mars is the warrior, taking action, fighting for something, putting energy towards this new beginning. So those are, the three planets in conjunction. Mars, the planet of war, conjuncting Moon and Sun. Okay, that right there, we could stop with that and say, wow, that feels like a lot of energy, right? Sun, Mars is a push to take action. It's, again, rattling the cage that you've been stuck in, wanting to break out of it, looking for a path forward. And Moon, Mars is maybe bringing that energy up that you've not wanted to look at. You didn't want to have conflict. You didn't want to have the conversation. You didn't want to speak up. And Moon, Mars is like, you might have a lot of emotions, and I imagine it may be anger. Now think about anger. Anger is a transformational emotion because it's like communicating, and all emotions are communication. Communicating, this isn't working, this does not work, and I want to do something different. So honor that, but work with it. So this is a time now. Now I'm going to get into the next big player in this puzzle piece of planets, right? So the Sun, Moon, and Mars in Scorpio are opposite Uranus. Okay, now here, this is where some heat gets really turned up, and I do encourage really practicing your spiritual tools, meditation, prayer, set intention. Remember, I always say, if you don't set intention, you're going to be in tension. And in particular with this new moon, in particular because Uranus is in this, part of this puzzle. Uranus. So Sun, Moon, Mars, opposite Uranus. Uranus is the great disruptor. The, it leads to breakthroughs, but it can come in disruptive ways. It can come with unexpected quick changes, sudden shifts, shocking shifts. Like, oh my God, what's happening? And this is where it's hard when we witness through our human eyes what's happening. To be in that place of, I'm trusting these birthquakes and sometimes literal earthquakes, big shocking events in the world that we're part of, towards evolving and moving towards something or breaking out of something. This is Uranus. So at this time, I made a note here. We've also had some shifts. Okay, I'll get into this next. Sorry, jumping the gun. I'm feeling Uranus is like really quick, really like eccentric, innovative ideas, wanting to just rebirth us into something new. Okay. but it can bring anxiety. It can bring agitation. It can bring, just feeling uncomfortable because change is in our midst, right? So remember, we need to be comfortable being uncomfortable to move towards the higher possibility for our lives and for our collective world we share. So I did want to mention that we did have some other shifts, and I'm mentioning this for those of you who are learning more about astrology and maybe are more advanced in astrology, and so you're aware, or for those of you who are deeply sensitive empaths. Those are the people that tend to come to this channel, my wounded healers, that you're working on helping yourself, but you're really here to help others. You're my people, right? Again, comment anything that I underneath this video or any other video, but here in particular, if I say anything that really strikes a chord with you, I want to know. Also, let me know where you're viewing from. I love to know. Even if you think you told me, tell me where you are. Tell me how it's going in your world. And so, yeah, so what you may have noticed, and that Saturn just recently went direct after being retrograde. It was June 17th, somewhere around there. It went retrograde, and it just came out of retrograde on November 4th. I was with my best friend on vacation, and I had warned her I had been feeling really low energy, super tired, taking a nap. And she is like, the Energizer bunny. She's go, go, go. So I warned her before we got together. I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to pace with you. But I got with her. We went on our vacation. The first day we got together was November 4th. And I had all this energy. And then we went on our road trip. And then we went to Monterey. And she said to me, I don't know what you're talking about, that you don't have energy. You have a lot of energy. And I thought, oh, that's right. Saturn went direct. Now, Saturn is transiting my first house just at the tail end. So that was impacting my energy. Anyway, Saturn has gone direct now. So now also Mercury has moved out of Scorpio into Sagittarius. So this is an important piece because we're feeling now more than ever that we need to speak our truth. We can't hold back our truth. We need to be honest with ourselves and with others. But I want to caution you with all of this energy. In just a moment, I'm going to explain what I would encourage you to do instead of moving from a place of reaction with your conversations, or you're really angry or pissed off at someone and you're going to talk to them. I'm going to caution you to hold that back a little bit. I'm going to give you some ideas of how to work with your anger. Yes, you want to speak your truth, but you want to do it in a way that it's received. And so this is actually with Mercury and Sagittarius. I would invite you, and with this Scorpionic energy, to look into nonviolent communication or compassionate communication, a way to communicate your needs and assess the needs of others in a connected way, so you're not triggering somebody or being triggered by someone. But that is the possibility of this new moon being triggered. I want to remind you, triggers are our stuff. Yes, somebody can bump into your wound or actually do something very harmful, but still, the trigger tells you that it's connected to a deeper place inside of you, an old wound or unprocessed pain from an old wound. And usually they're not causing the pain, they're revealing it. Okay. So triggers are our responsibility. Okay. It's like your soul saying, look here, work here, do your inner work here, do some soul work practices here. Okay. So also Venus moved out of Virgo, where we've been so persnickety and very, very much like detail oriented, looking at everything that's wrong in our relationships and with money. So now in Libra, and I pray that Venus in Libra really brings a collective heart-centered desire for peace across the world. This is a time with all the shaking and quaking going on in our own lives and in our collective lives to consistently pray for peace, pray for solution, pray for healing, and let it begin with you, okay? Okay, so I wanted to talk about ways to support yourself through intensity, whether it's this new moon or any transit that feels intense, or just life circumstances. So remember, Anger, frustration, irritability may arise. This is communication. Emotions, energy, and motion is trying to wake you up, shake you up, guide you to some new choices, some new awareness, some breakthroughs. Okay. So some suggestions, some compassionate suggestions, and you know best for you, but truly, again, you may be triggered, you may be irritable, you may feel like, you may be in a place of shaming and blaming because, when it's coming up through us, of course, we're going to try to blame it, pin it on someone else, but that's just revealing your shadow. Okay. So this is a time for shadow work. I promised you a video on shadow work. I already have an old one up. You can just go to my page or my channel and search for shadow work, but I want to do a more updated one. I will say this about shadow work. I hear a lot of people when they talk about shadow work, they talk about releasing. I'm going to release that belief. I'm going to release that. And that's not shadow work. That's working with negative core beliefs. Shadow work is identifying what you've placed in your shadow, what you've denied, suppressed, or felt shamed or judged about. Shadow work is about reclaiming those aspects of you and integrating them into your wholeness. Okay. So this is a time for shadow work. You may notice some things popping up that you think, oh, this isn't like me. Or you're really angry or irritable with somebody. Ask yourself, where am I like that? Where have I denied that in myself? Okay. But postpone any, like say you get a notification from someone, an email or a text, and you're really pissed. Put it on pause until you do some inner work. Postpone that conversation. Okay. And I would say, let's wait until we get through Mars, Sun, Mars opposite Uranus. Mars opposite Uranus is really the thing that we're concerned about right now, because you may have the best intention for a conversation, but the trigger potential is high for yourself and others. So that conversation may go sideways quickly. And people may just surprise you with their anger or their angry words. Okay. So we want to just gently back away, but allow space for healthy expression of anger. I find a lot with my clients, they don't even know what that is. And so some of us have seen ugly anger in the world and we said, no, not going to do that. And we suppress it. But anger is an emotion that God gave us to help us navigate our world. What does healthy anger look like? It means that you have done your inner work. You've connected the dots. You know what this is about for you. And yet you can now use the energy of anger to be assertive, but still compassionate, to communicate your needs. Okay. So allow space for that. If it's really intense, dance, put on some intense music, dance it out, shake it out, right? This is somatic work. Stomp your feet, get it out. Hit a punching bag, scream, hit a pillow, scream. Hopefully you have space to do this and your neighbors aren't going to call you, but call the police on you like, what's going on? Where I happen to live, I can go out in the woods and, my husband taught me a process called tree preaching, where you can go out deep into the woods and find a tree and ask for permission to share what your emotions are and just let it go. So dancing to intense music or singing to intense music can be really, really, really helpful. Go for a run, because when we're agitated or angry, we are activated in our primal brain. We're in that fight, flight, or freeze or fawn. But usually with this energy, it's going to be fight. So that's the sympathetic response, right? Fight, flight, freeze, which is like, I don't know what to do. Fawn, which is the people pleaser, like, I'll just try to be nicer and get you to like me so I'll be safe. Remember, these are all responses to be safe, reactions, I should say. So, but most likely you're going to be triggered to want to fight, right? Or run, flee, run. So go for a run or exercise at a little bit more intensity, but stretch, take care of your body, don't overdo it. And then also I would suggest doing a stream of consciousness dump on a paper. Get your paper out, not your journal, just a notepad, and just get it out. And maybe you start with, I'm so angry that, and get it, keep writing, stream of consciousness. Or I'm really irritable about, get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out. Crumble that paper, throw it in the fire, or shred it. get it out. And then you might want to do a sweep of your body. Just get it out, right? Okay. Then, remember I touched on this. You want to work with what's underneath the triggers. Where is it connected? Ask yourself, what is this reminding me of? When was there another time I felt this way, or I had an event that was like this that really bothered me? And then what you want to do is connect it to that old wound, and where the healing is what did I need that I didn't get back then in the past that this is reminding me of? What do I need right now? And what do I do to facilitate that need getting met for myself? Okay. So of this one, I did want to say, I think I meant to put it before the exercise, and that is, I wonder if any of you will do this. I have done this. I want to invite you to, if you're really worked up, let yourself have a contained tantrum. And by contained, I mean, it's not directed towards anyone else, and maybe you have someone hold space for it. Like I'll tell my husband, I'm really angry. I need to move this anger. And I may get on the floor and roll around and punch the floor. I mean, we have a mat. Don't hurt yourself while you're moving the energy. But tantrums can come from an earlier age where we didn't have space or it wasn't safe for our emotions to be in the room. So we hid them, we suppressed them. So throw yourself a tantrum, and also throw yourself a pity party. Not for long, put a timer on, 10, 20 minutes, and just let yourself rip. My life is this, and I'm so upset, blah, blah, blah. Get it out. When that timer's over, then we get to, again, shake it out, dust it off, brush it off, rise back up. And then what I would suggest, this one too, write a letter that you don't send. So say you're angry with somebody and you just can't work it out. Write a letter, get it all out. Ask at the end of the letter what you need from them that you're not getting, then shred it or burn it. I would suggest a soul-to-soul conversation here, but I don't think it's quite the time, but I'll talk more about that at another session. It's a technique I teach my clients about connecting from your soul to the other person's soul. It's a way we can bypass the wounds of the human experience, but remind me if you don't hear me do a video on this to ask more about that later. Okay, but the next thing I would say, next two things, is ride the energy in the direction that you want it. So say you're really angry. I learned this from Reverend Michael Beckwith. When you're really angry, this is a good time to do affirmations. So say, and you want to make sure you do your affirmations. I have a lot of energy coming in, so I'm talking fast. Let me pause. This is what happened. I just okay. So affirmations need to be spoken in the direction of what you want and what you want to move towards. So you want to stay away from the don'ts. It's okay to let that come out in your venting. I don't want this anymore. I don't want to feel stuck anymore. Okay, that's not your affirmation. You want to dump that, clear that, and then you want to put it in the direction you want to go, which is usually the opposite. So say you're saying, I don't want to feel stuck. I want to have movement in my life. I desire a shift that aligns me with my potential, my possibilities. And you do it with the anger, you shout it, I desire a shift for my highest good right now. And you let that energy drive you forward. This is Uranus energy too. I keep having an image of a lightning bolt, which is Uranus. So you're going to ride the lightning bolts of energy towards the direction of your breakthroughs. Okay. So then I would suggest, most and foremost, always throughout your day, pray without ceasing. Pray and vision for healing and transformation for yourself, for our collective world. The greatest prayer when we don't know what to pray for is show me the way. Show me the way towards greater peace. Show me the way towards my highest good. Show me the way for what I'm here to contribute to the collective. Show me the way out of this stuck place. Okay? So I think that's all I wanted to say. Once you've worked through all that's getting triggered in you and waking up in you, the birthquakes moving through you, meet yourself with compassion and acceptance. Think about it as I'm going through another birthing process. Something is moving through me through the highest good. you know, and take care of yourself in that sacred way, that same way that you would at a sacred birth. This is sacred work, my friends. Transformation is sacred work. It's not for the faint of heart. But the more of us that do this inner work, we are responsible for our inner world. We do take action where we can. We do cultivate compassion and acceptance for ourselves and others. The more we contribute to the higher and greatest good for all of us. Okay? And then, remember when you're feeling reactive, you got to step back, do your inner work, do some of the things I suggested, regulate your mind body system, and then be able to respond. We want to respond. Response allows new choices. When we're in a response, oh, there we are. This is our responsibility for the collective, your ability to respond and not react. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I could talk to you forever, but I do want to hear how you're doing. Please do comment and let me know how you're doing. And I really send so much love to all of you, each and every one of you. Truly, as trite as it is, you're not alone. We're all, in this together, having moments of intensity, having moments of awakening, but we're all doing our work, or we all are moving towards doing our work. And whether we do our work or not, we're being worked by, the energy of the cosmos so that we can transform collectively, so we can choose for the greatest good for all. Okay, love you so much. Love yourself. Hug yourself. Give yourself a nice hug right now. Really make that contact, hand over heart, when you need it the most. And become the person you most needed when you were a child in this present moment. That's going to be quite healing for you. Okay, take good care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.